Hello, everyone. I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker, and I'm taking a look at cryptid sightings across the prairie provinces of Canada and the Midwest of the United States in the last 48 hours. And I'm going to start with Manitoba. And in Manitoba, there was a Bigfoot in the Norway House, northern Lake Winnipeg area. And they're not saying much about it, either only that it was near the Nelson River and that they reported it to the local Cryptid Watch. And there was a dog man at Sandy Bay's First Nation, and I think somebody shot at it, but they say it was just outside the town site area, and it was reported to the police. And there was a UAP, I like this one, in Winnipeg. So Transport Canada had a report of an unidentified object from a flight out of Winnipeg. And so now they're tracking, and the researchers in the area are trying to monitor to figure out what it was. And so it's the aviation that it was reported to, and it's an ongoing investigation. And there was a spirit in Portage la Prairie in the high level unexplained energy report by local paranormal groups near a museum site as of late this week. And that is it for Manitoba. And in Alberta, over the last 48 hours, in the Horse Thief Canyon area, at 11:40 p.m. on April 4th, a witness reported a soul-reading stare from a bipedal canine near the canyon rim. The figure retreated when the light was applied, and they reported it to the independent log for Dogman. I went out that way yesterday looking in the areas that they said for spider humanoids, and I go frequently to Horse Thief Canyon, but it was so muddy. Didn't see anything, but it was a beautiful day. Bigfoot in the Kananaskis area, Highway 40, at 2:15 a.m. on April 4th, three people, large upright figure crossing the road near Barrier Lake. Witnesses noted the heavy, musky odor left behind, and they reported it to the Alberta Sasquatch Organization. And a skinwalker near Drumheller, that's where I am, in the North Badlands, April 5th at 3 a.m. Two people report whistling that changed pitch and seemed to follow hikers back towards their vehicle. And they reported it to the local researchers. And a hellhound was sighted on writing on the stone on Provincial Park. It is beautiful there. I've been there. At dusk, April 3rd. A witness reported a large red-eyed canine seen standing motionless near the hoodoos, vanished when the witness blinked. And they reported it to in the private records there. And when I was down there, I was specifically looking for the Bigfoot, but we didn't see any. Moving over to the U.S., and we are looking at North Dakota. So a shout out to North Dakota. In the last 48 hours, a Bigfoot on Turtle Mountain State Forest at 9:30 p.m. on April 4th. Two witnesses reported a whistling communications followed by heavy bipedal footsteps, and they reported it to the local tracker group. And there was a dog man at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, North Unit, at 11:15 p.m. on April 3rd. One witness, a hiker, reported a 7-foot wolf-like entity standing near a bent tree structure, and he reported it to the National Sightings for Hellhound file. And a hellhound in Millot, rural South, at 12 a.m., April the 5th. A witness reported a shadow dog with luminous eyes following their vehicle for 2 miles. And they didn't say the speed, and they reported it in a private records log. And a skinwalker in Fort Bernhold Reservation boundary area at 2 a.m. on April 4th. Two people heard the voice of a familiar family member calling from the brush. No one was there, and they reported it to the community elders. In Minnesota over the past 48 hours, the Paul Bunyan State Forest at 10:45 p.m. on April 3rd, one witness saw a massive matted fur canine on two legs, blinking at witness before leaping into the brush. And they reported it to the Cryptid private encounters. And there was a Bigfoot at the Boundary Waters BWCA at 3:30 a.m. on April 4th. Two campers, heavy tree knocks, and deep chest vibration growl that lasted several minutes. and they reported it to the BFRO. And a hellhound in the Driftless area, southeast MN, at 12:15 a.m. on April 5th. A driver, a black void dog with oversized paws, seen running parallel to a car at 60 miles per hour, and they reported it to the local paranormal group. And a Mothman in Duluth area, the aerial lift bridge, at dusk on April the 3rd. Two witnesses saw a large winged shadow with red eyes that glowed, seen perched on the bridge. And they reported it to the Cryptid Society. And in Ohio, over the last 48 hours, a Bigfoot at Athens, the Ridges area, on dusk, April 4th, a small group of hunters, dark figure moving through the barren trees, and they attempted to get a photo. I guess they were unsuccessful, and they reported it to the local research group. It'd be nice if somebody got a really good photo. It was the last thing I thought of when I seen a Bigfoot. And there was a Bigfoot in Portage County, and it was on in the night time from April 3rd to April 5th. So this was a continuum. Multiple witnesses reported a 6 to 10 foot tall figures. One account of a guardian dog left shaking with fear, and they reported it to the Bigfoot Society. So that must have been a guardian dog. I usually think of that as a Great Pyrenees. And a dog man in Newton Falls, Trimble County, sorry. At 1 a.m. on April 4th, a witness reported a stiff shoulder bipedal canine crossing the rural road near the woodland. It moved funny. Then they thought that its shoulders were stiff. At the National Sightings File is where they reported it to. And a hellhound in Old Mansfield area. And it was at 11 p.m. on April 3rd. Two witnesses saw a large black canine with luminescing eyes seen near the perimeter, and they reported it to the private investigation log. That's it for that area. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's free, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.